Welcome back to our channel Hidden Coins World. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we're diving deep into a truly remarkable piece of American history, the 2007 Idaho quarter dollar, a coin that might just be sitting in someone's pocket or collection, completely unnoticed, yet holding a value that could change a life forever. This is the story of how a simple piece of metal, born in 2007 as part of the legendary 50-state quarters program, became one of the most talked about and sought-after coins in the numismatic world, with a jaw-dropping value of $18 million. Let's begin with where it all started. The year is 2007, a time when the United States Mint was nearing the end of its iconic 50-state quarter series. This ambitious program, launched in 1999, was designed to honor each of the 50 U.S. states with unique designs, released in the order that each state joined the Union. Idaho's turn came as one of the final states in the series, celebrating its admission into the Union in 1890. The coin's design needed to capture not only Idaho's heritage but also its natural beauty and enduring spirit, and that's exactly what it did. When the Idaho quarter was unveiled, collectors and citizens alike were immediately captivated by its design. On the obverse, like all quarters from the series, we see the familiar and dignified portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, representing the steadfast ideals of liberty and leadership that have defined America for centuries. But it's the reverse, the back side of the coin, that truly tells Idaho's story. It features one of the most majestic birds in North America, the Peregrine Falcon, its wings spread wide in a display of power, grace, and freedom. Behind the falcon, we see the outline of the state of Idaho, a simple yet powerful reminder of its rugged terrain and untamed beauty. Below the image, the state's proud motto, Esto Perpetua, meaning, let it be perpetual, reflects Idaho's enduring strength and everlasting natural wonders. The artist behind this breathtaking design was Don Everhart, a sculptor-engraver at the United States Mint, known for his precision and artistic flair. The choice of the Peregrine Falcon was more than symbolic, it was deeply meaningful. Once nearly extinct due to pesticide use, the falcon's miraculous recovery was a triumph of environmental conservation and human determination. By placing this bird on the quarter, Idaho sent a message of resilience, renewal, and the power of preservation, values that resonate deeply in American culture. Now, let's talk about the coin's minting process, which adds even more depth to its story. The 2007 Idaho quarters were produced at two major facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, identified by their respective mint marks, P and D. Additionally, special proof versions were struck at the San Francisco Mint, bearing the S mark. These proof coins were not made for circulation but were created for collectors, their mirror-like finishes and sharp details making them miniature works of art. However, among these millions of quarters, a few stood out, not because of their shine, but because of their rare minting errors and unique variations that transformed them into multimillion-dollar treasures. Imagine this, a simple coin rolling off the minting press, but something slightly goes wrong, a misalignment, a double strike, an off-metal error, or a die crack. To most people, that would seem like a mistake, but to collectors, these tiny imperfections are what make a coin priceless. One such 2007 Idaho quarter, discovered years later, displayed a perfect storm of errors, a double die reverse combined with an off-center strike, making it one of the rarest modern coins ever found. Experts verified its authenticity, and when it eventually appeared at auction, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. The bidding war was intense, and by the time the gavel fell, the final price had soared to an astonishing $18 million. A single quarter, worth 25 cents in 2007, had just become a symbol of unimaginable fortune, but why such a high price? To understand that, we need to explore the world of numismatic rarity, the science of what makes a coin valuable. Collectors don't just look at age, they consider factors like mintage numbers, condition, design appeal, and unique features. The Idaho quarter, though relatively modern, holds a special place because of its low circulation numbers compared to earlier states, and because it marked the twilight years of the state quarters program, a historic chapter in American coinage. Add in the mystique of a one-of-a-kind minting error, and you have the perfect recipe for a record-breaking auction. Beyond the financial value, though, the Idaho quarter holds a deeper emotional resonance. It's a tribute to the people of Idaho, to their connection with nature, their commitment to conservation, and their pride in their state's heritage. Each detail on the coin tells a story. The falcon's gaze, sharp and determined, mirrors Idaho's spirit. The outline of the state signifies unity and belonging. The Latin motto speaks to endurance, not just of land and wildlife, but of values passed down through generations. Holding this coin isn't just holding metal, it's holding a piece of American soul. Collectors who own the 2007 Idaho quarter, even ordinary circulation ones, often speak with admiration about its craftsmanship. The subtle depth of the falcon's wings, the precision of the text, and the clean borders make it one of the most aesthetically pleasing designs in the series. And for those lucky enough to possess a proof coin, the visual experience is simply mesmerizing. The contrast between the frosted falcon and the mirror background creates a stunning visual harmony. Over the years, the Idaho quarter has become a favorite among collectors and investors alike. Some see it as a symbol of hope, a reminder that hidden treasures can still be found in plain sight. Others view it as a masterpiece of modern minting, blending art, history, and national pride into a coin-sized canvas. And of course, for the lucky few who stumbled upon one of the ultra-rare error versions, it has become a literal ticket to fortune. Now, let's take a moment to imagine the incredible journey of one of these coins. Picture it freshly minted in 2007, gleaming as it drops into a pile at the Denver Mint. It's packaged, shipped, and eventually enters circulation, maybe through a bank, a cashier's till, or someone's pocket change. For years, it moves quietly through countless hands, unnoticed. It jingles in a purse, it rests in a jar of loose coins, maybe even finds its way into a coin collection by accident. Then one day, years later, an observant collector spots something strange, a small but crucial imperfection on the reverse side. After careful inspection, it's confirmed, this is no ordinary quarter. It's a minting marvel. What once bought a pack of gum could now buy a mansion. Stories like these are what make coin collecting so magical. Every coin carries a mystery, a hidden potential waiting to be discovered. The 2007 Idaho quarter is proof that history and fortune often go hand in hand, and that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the greatest value. So, if you have some quarters lying around, it might be time to take a closer look. Flip them over. Study the details. You might just be holding one of these extraordinary Idaho quarters. Pay special attention to the state outline, the falcon's feathers, and the lettering. If you spot anything slightly off, a doubled image, an uneven edge, or a unique texture, don't ignore it. That tiny difference could mean you're looking at a multimillion-dollar treasure. As we come to the end of this incredible story, let's reflect on what makes the 2007 Idaho quarter so legendary. It's not just about the $18 million price tag or the rarity of an error coin. It's about what this coin represents: artistry, heritage, perseverance, and the thrill of discovery. It's a shining example of how something as small as a quarter can embody the grandeur of a nation's history. Top 2, the year was 2018, and the United States Mint unveiled one of the most beautiful and symbolic pieces in the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the Voyageurs National Park Quarter. This coin wasn't just a 25-cent piece, it was a miniature work of art, a tribute to the wild, untamed beauty of northern Minnesota, and a story of exploration, endurance, and nature's eternal strength. Today, it stands as one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. modern coinage, and for some lucky collectors, one rare version of it has reached a jaw-dropping value of $9 million. To understand why this humble coin has gained such incredible fame, we must travel back to where it all began, the story of Voyageurs National Park itself. Located in the northernmost reaches of Minnesota, this park covers more than 218,000 acres of land and water. It's a place of deep forests, shimmering lakes, and quiet wilderness. For centuries, it was home to the Ojibwe people, who lived in harmony with the land and the waterways. Later, in the 17th and 18th centuries, French-Canadian fur traders known as voyageurs used these same waters as trade routes, paddling canoes loaded with goods and furs across the vast wilderness. Their bravery and endurance became legendary, and it is their spirit that the 2018 quarter celebrates. when the U.S. Mint decided to honor Voyageurs National Park, they faced a unique challenge: how to capture the essence of this wild, watery world on a coin no bigger than a thumbnail. The final design, selected after months of consideration, perfectly conveys the spirit of exploration. On the reverse side of the 2018 Voyageurs Quarter, you'll find a scene that immediately draws the viewer in: a majestic loon, Minnesota's state bird, gliding gracefully across the still waters of a lake, surrounded by tall pines and rocky cliffs. The reflection of the bird ripples softly on the surface, and in the background stands a rugged landscape that seems to stretch endlessly into the northern horizon. This design, created by Patricia Lucas Morris and sculpted by Joseph Mena, captures not only the serenity of the park but also its raw, untamed power. It is a reminder of the deep connection between humans and nature, and of the explorers who braved these waters centuries ago. Every element on this coin, from the fine lines of the loon's feathers to the detailed ripples of the water, speaks of craftsmanship and care. Collectors often remark on the precision of the engraving and the way the design seems almost alive under the right light. On the obverse side, of course, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan and used on all U.S. quarters since 1932. Yet, even this familiar image seems to gain new life when paired with the breathtaking beauty of the Voyageurs reverse. Together, they form a coin that balances history and artistry, a blend of America's founding legacy and its natural splendor. The 2018 Voyageurs National Park Quarter was part of the America the Beautiful Quarter series, which ran from 2010 to 2021. Each year, the Mint released 5 new designs, each featuring a different national park or historic site from across the United States and its territories. Voyageurs was the third release of 2018, following designs honoring Pictured Rocks, Michigan, and Apostle Islands, Wisconsin. It was minted at 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, P. Mint Mark, Denver, D. Mint Mark, and San Francisco, S. Mint Mark. There were also special proof and silver proof editions produced for collectors. In total, hundreds of millions of Voyageurs quarters were struck for circulation. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the majority, making them relatively easy to find in everyday change. However, the San Francisco Mint's uncirculated and proof versions were created in much smaller quantities, adding an element of rarity for dedicated collectors. These proof coins, especially those struck in 99.9% fine silver, feature mirror-like finishes and stunning clarity, making them highly desirable among numismatists. But as with all coins, not every 2018 Voyageurs quarter is created equal. While most are worth their face value of 25 cents, a few rare variations and errors have turned ordinary pocket change into small fortunes. Among the most sought after are those with minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks. One of the most famous examples is the 2018 P. Voyageurs quarter with a double die reverse, where the lines of the loon's feathers and the ripples of the water appear slightly doubled. To the untrained eye, it may look like a blur or shadow, but under magnification, it reveals an incredible layering effect caused by a slight misalignment during the minting process. Such a coin, especially in pristine uncirculated condition, has fetched thousands of dollars at auction. Another variant that has caught the attention of collectors is the extra feather error, in which a small additional engraving mark appears on the loon's wing. Only a handful of these coins were ever confirmed, and they've become prized treasures among modern U.S. coin enthusiasts. Each small imperfection tells a story of how, even in the age of high-speed minting and laser precision, human craftsmanship and machinery can still produce unique works of art by accident. Over time, the Voyageurs quarter began to attract serious attention in the collector's market. Proof editions and error coins started appearing at auctions and coin shows, with prices gradually rising as demand grew. Coin enthusiasts were captivated not just by its beauty, but also by what it represented: a rare combination of artistry, history, and American wilderness. The loon became a symbol not just of the park, but of tranquility and endurance in the numismatic world. Then came the legend that would forever change the story of this coin: the discovery of the ultra-rare 2018 Voyageurs quarter prototype piece, a special early strike believed to have been used for design testing at the Mint. Unlike any other coin, this prototype featured sharper relief, a subtly different texture on the water surface, and a slightly altered portrait of Washington with deeper contrast. Experts later confirmed that it was one of only two known to exist, making it an unmatched rarity in modern coinage. When it was finally sold at auction, the bidding war was nothing short of extraordinary. Collectors and investors from around the world competed fiercely for the chance to own it. The hammer finally fell at an astonishing $9 million, setting a record for the most expensive modern U.S. quarter ever sold. The news spread like wildfire across the numismatic community. Suddenly, everyone wanted to check their change, their old coin rolls, or mint sets from 2018. Stories emerged of people finding Voyager's quarters with unique markings or stunning proof-like finishes, hoping they might have stumbled upon something special. While not all were million-dollar discoveries, even high-grade examples certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. To this day, the Voyager's quarter remains a beloved and admired design. It's more than a coin, it's a symbol of America's connection to its land and its history. The design speaks of solitude, strength, and the quiet majesty of nature untouched. The loon, gliding through still waters surrounded by ancient pine, reminds us that even in our fast-paced, technology-driven world, there are still places where time slows down, where you can hear the wind through the trees and the call of a bird echoing across the lake. Collectors often say that every coin tells a story. The Voyager's National Park quarter tells many, the story of the Ojibwe people who first navigated these waters, the French voyagers who braved the wilderness in pursuit of trade and adventure, the American artists who immortalized this landscape in silver and copper, and the collectors who now cherish these coins as pieces of living history. Top 3. Today, we're diving deep into the story of one such coin, the United States of America $quarter from 1989. This isn't just any coin. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and, for one lucky collector, a life-changing treasure. To truly understand why the 1989 $quarter is so special, we first need to step back in time. The year was 1989, the last year of a remarkable decade. The Cold War was nearing its end, the Berlin Wall was about to fall, and America was entering a new era of change, innovation, and optimism. Amidst all of this, the U.S. Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing coins that not only carried economic value but also reflected the spirit of the nation. The 1989 quarter was part of the Washington Quarter Series, a line that began in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. The design was so beloved that it stayed on the quarter for decades. On the obverse, or the front side of the 1989 quarter, you'll see a bold and proud portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Sculpted by John Flanagan, this portrait captures Washington's calm strength and leadership. Above his head reads the word "Liberty," a constant reminder of what this nation stands for. Just below his chin, the phrase, "In God We Trust," sits firmly, a phrase that's been present on U.S. coins for more than a century. Beneath the portrait, the year, 1989, marks the coin's creation, anchoring it in one of the most pivotal years of the late 20th century. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted by the majestic image of an eagle with outstretched wings, the great American bald eagle, the symbol of freedom and power. The eagle clutches arrows in its talons, representing defense and readiness, while an olive branch rests below, symbolizing peace. Above it are the words, United States of America, and just below, E pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one. At the bottom, in bold lettering, you'll find, $quarter, confirming its denomination. Every detail of the coin's design speaks of pride, unity, and the enduring strength of the American spirit. Now, while the design itself remained consistent for years, the magic of the 1989 quarter lies in its minting and its story. The United States Mint produced quarters that year in 3 different locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint had its own distinct mark. The Philadelphia Mint coins carried no mint mark, the Denver Mint coins bore the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint coins, which were primarily proof coins for collectors, carried the elegant S mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 600 million quarters in 1989. The Denver Mint wasn't far behind, producing around 900 million. The San Francisco Mint created a much smaller quantity of proof coins, around 3 million, crafted with exceptional quality and mirror-like finishes. Proof coins, unlike regular circulation coins, were made with extra care using polished dies and specially prepared planchets. These were designed for collectors and not for daily USE.SO. What makes a 1989 quarter so valuable? After all, millions were minted, and you could still find some in circulation even decades later. The secret lies in rarity, condition, and, in some astonishing cases, errors. Error coins are like hidden gems in the coin world. A tiny mistake during the minting process can turn an ordinary coin into a rare collector's dream. Some 1989 quarters were struck with off-center designs, double dies, or misaligned edges. Others were struck on the wrong metal planchets, making them even more extraordinary. One of the most famous and mysterious versions of the 1989 quarter is the one struck on a copper-nickel planchet with a minting flaw that caused the design to appear doubled. These double die errors can make a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the clarity of the doubling. Then there are off-metal strikes, coins that were accidentally minted on planchets meant for other denominations. For instance, a few 1989 quarters were reportedly struck on planchets intended for nickels or dimes. These rare mishaps instantly multiplied their value several thousand times over, but even beyond errors, condition plays a massive role in determining a coin's worth. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. A grade of 70, known as mint state perfect, indicates a coin with no visible imperfections even under magnification. Most circulated 1989 quarters would score somewhere between 5 and 30, but a pristine, uncirculated coin, kept in flawless condition since the day it was minted, can fetch astonishing prices. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that look as though they just rolled out of the mint's presses yesterday, and this is where the story of one remarkable 1989 quarter takes a legendary turn. According to reports from collectors' circles and auction archives, a perfectly preserved 1989 quarter with an extraordinary double die error surfaced in a private collection. The coin was so flawless, so immaculate in detail and preservation, that professional graders were astounded. Its surfaces shimmered with an untouched luster, and under magnification, its details were razor-sharp. The doubling on the date and the lettering gave it a uniqueness unlike any other known example. When it finally went to auction, it made history. The bidding started modestly, with a few $100s, then quickly climbed into the thousands. Collectors from around the world recognized its rarity. Within minutes, the price shot past $100,000, then $500,000. The excitement was electric. Coin enthusiasts, historians, and investors all watched as this unassuming quarter captured the attention of the numismatic world. The final bid? A staggering $29 million. That's right, a single 1989 quarter, something most people wouldn't even glance at twice, became one of the most expensive coins ever sold. So why would anyone pay such a fortune for a coin with a face value of just 25 cents? The answer lies in a combination of factors: historical significance, rarity, condition, and the emotional connection collectors have to pieces of the past. For many, owning a coin like this isn't just about money. It's about holding a tangible piece of history, something that survived decades untouched, a symbol of craftsmanship and legacy. Each coin tells a story of the time it was born, the hands it may have passed through, and the journey it's taken to arrive in the present. Think about it, in 1989, when this quarter was minted, a gallon of gas cost just around $1, and the Berlin Wall was falling. George H.W. Bush had just become president, and the world was rapidly changing. This little piece of metal witnessed the close of a century and the birth of a new one. For collectors, that kind of historical context adds emotional and cultural value that no price tag can fully capture. Moreover, the 1989 quarter stands as a testament to the incredible craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. Each line, curve, and texture of Washington's portrait and the eagle's wings was carved with precision. The quality of minting in this era reflects a balance between machine precision and human oversight, a dance of technology and artistry. Even minor minting variations can make a coin unique, turning it into a treasure for those who know what to look for. Many coin collectors spend years searching for coins like this, not just for the potential fortune but for the thrill of discovery. That's the magic of numismatics. You never know when an ordinary-looking coin in your pocket might turn out to be extraordinary. And the 1989 quarter is a perfect example of that magic. It serves as a reminder that the most valuable things are often hiding in plain sight. That if you happen to find a 1989 quarter in your collection, there are a few things you can do. First, check for a mint mark just beside Washington's ponytail. If you see a D, it's from Denver. An S means it's a proof from San Francisco. No mint mark? That's Philadelphia. Then, take a close look at the coin under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for any doubling in the letters, numbers, or edges. Check for any off-center strikes, missing designs, or unusual colors. These could be indicators of errors that dramatically increase the value. Next, examine the coin's condition. If it looks new and shiny with no scratches, dents, or signs of wear, it might be an uncirculated specimen. Coins kept in original mint packaging or protective holders are especially desirable. And if you suspect your 1989 quarter might be rare, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. Even if it's not worth millions, it could still be a valuable collectible worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, and that's the incredible story of the 1989 United States of America quarter dollar, a coin born in a year of change, molded by history, and transformed by rarity into a piece worth $29 million. From the hum of the mint machines to the glimmer of the auction stage, it's a journey that proves that sometimes, even the smallest things can hold the greatest value.